Hey everyone, so my name is Fanny and I'm making this video because I feel like it's important to talk about right now. As you can see by the title, I'm gonna kind of be discussing what our issue with money is. I'm 18 years old now. I was 17. Sometime this month, I'm not really gonna give out my exact birthday, but I just turned 18. So as you guys can tell by my age, I'm somebody who's going to enter college in this fall. So this is an issue that is really important for me to talk about. So I'm going to kind of start from the beginning. So I received a full tuition scholarship to a really good university, and I have the opportunity to go into nursing. And before I was applying to schools, I was applying to nursing programs. And the whole thing is, I never really delved into what nursing was. What I saw and what I knew about it is that, oh, you gotta help out people and you make this amount of money. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's a very stable career. Like, you're always gonna have work, all that stuff. So, when I was kind of delving into what nursing really was, I kind of was like, is this something I really want to do? Because I have a lot more aspirations, and it feels like for me to get into nursing, a lot of it would just ride on the amount of money I would be making if I went into it. So it's kind of been something that's kind of been messing with my mind, because I have the choice to either go out of state to this university that's good and I could get into their nursing program, because it's like a 50% chance that you can get into their nursing program. And I feel like I would have a good chance. But then again, I would have to be pursuing something that I kind of like, I just don't really even have like any will to even do. So the only reason I would be pursuing it is just to be making that amount of money and for that kind of stability and kind of for me to be going to that good university. So it's been in my mind, and it's something that I've been struggling with too, because especially other things come into play too. For example, after that, I got into the first year interest group that I wanted, and I also passed out of all my placement exams, which means I wouldn't have to take any of the I forgot what it was, but I wouldn't have to take any of the first math courses, any of the first English courses, or any of the first language courses, which was Spanish. So it was like, this is a really good opportunity for me, and to be pursuing something that I know would grant me that stability. But at the same time, it's like, because I'm going outside of state and I'm pursuing something that I kind of know I don't want to do, like, nursing on the outside, it looks really good. But there's a lot of struggles that come with it, and you have to kind of be willing. You kind of have to have the heart for it. You kind of have to know that, oh, this is what I want to do and I care about this profession. And yeah, you kind of have to have the heart for it. So for me to be pursuing something like that outside of state, and to try to get into a program that it's not guaranteed if I would get in, and let's say if I didn't get in, like, I think I would have like a mental breakdown. So then the other option is that I would be able to stay in state and pursue something that is a little bit more unstable. I mean, there's always jobs, and I would have to kind of think about, oh, what internships I'm going to get and all that. Which, whereas with nursing, it's kind of like you don't really have to worry about that. But what you do have to worry about is getting the experience so that you can get admitted into the program. So yeah, so I'm kind of in this place right now where I'm kind of like, I just feel like I don't want to say it, but I just feel like I don't want to feel like I'm letting myself down, like I'm kind of deteriorating my potential. Like, I want to give myself the best opportunities possible, but at the same time, I want to make sure that, like, this is in check. Like, I want to make sure that I feel good with whatever I'm doing. So, yeah, Um, so yeah, it's been very scary, and so I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, but I think it's just been really scary because the whole money thing too. It's a really big kind of concern for me. And the thing is, one thing I've noticed is that I've been kind of being a little bit more materialistic lately. I've been kind of been seeking kind of monetary things rather than things that would make me actually feel okay. And that's kind of like the way that I've been kind of trained to like, oh, like get the money first and then kind of pursue what you want after. But I feel like there should be like a balance. Like you should like what you're doing and then also make sure that you have enough to like not enough to get by, but enough to I guess do what you want to do. So yeah, that's kind of where I've been at. And yeah, another thing about it is I'm Nigerian. So for those Nigerians out there is there's a lot of pressure for like success, and especially like given this amazing opportunity, it's kind of like I don't want to let my parents down who have like kind of sacrificed like a lot for me. So it's just if I feel like I have like a lot of pressure to pick that career path. And the thing is, when you're looking at my letters for getting into other nursing programs, I didn't get into any in my state. So that's why it's better if I go to that school outside of state. But when you're looking at my letters, it sounds like it sounds like I want to do something to help out. Okay, because kind of one of my goals is like whatever I'm doing, I want to help out like children, you know what I'm saying? But it looks like I don't even want to deal with like the whole medical side. Like I kind of just want to help out the children, like you know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. So I feel like for me, I feel like it's all about creating like a balance for yourself, like pursuing kind of what you feel. Because the thing with me is that if if I'm pursuing something that I want to do, I know that it's like my efforts, like I'll put in extra effort and it always pays off. Like you know what I'm saying? But if I'm pursuing something that I don't want to do, it's kind of puts me in a tough spot because it's like I'm doing something I dislike every day and going outside of state, like without any family, I feel like it's gonna be like 10 times harder. And also having that in the back of your mind that, oh, what if I don't get into this nursing program? That's gonna be even like, I feel like that would make me so miserable. So I feel like I just have to take like that leap of faith and kind of just have confidence in myself that, you know, whatever I go into, it's going to be okay and I'm going to be financially okay. And most importantly, my health is going to be okay because this thing has been stressing me out for months, kind of thinking about this, kind of having like this kind of mental like battle of like, what should I do? But at the same time, when I look at it, not everyone is a nurse. You know what I'm saying? So being a nurse doesn't really equal success. There's success that comes in like many other forms. So it's like, okay, like it's like I have like that kind of reassurance. And so I'm like, okay, but it's just like I have like so much fear. Like if I go into something that's like not that, like not stable and all that stuff, it creates like the sense of fear. Like, am I even gonna find like a job? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, am I gonna be worrying about money all the time? Like, you know, I want for my future family, I want like my kids to always have something. Like, you know what I'm saying? I always want to be able to like buy them shoes and all that stuff. Like, I don't want it ever to be an issue where I'm like, oh, sorry, I can't buy you that. Like, I don't want that to happen. I know that that's happened to me, and I don't ever want for this decision to like affect my future. And I know that it's kind of funny because it's like, come on now, you're like 17-year-old, like, why, well, 18 now, like, why are you thinking about all that? But it really is, like, an issue, like, when you're thinking about kind of, like, your future and all that stuff, like, you don't want to put yourself in that position. And another thing, too, is, another thing that's been really bothering me is, like, time. So another thing is I don't want to waste a lot of time to get to where I want to be. And that's something that I feel like I have to kind of settle down. It's something that I kind of have to, like, be comfortable with, that some things may take a little bit more time. And that's the thing, like, I don't want to, I'm sounding really materialistic right now, so I'm sorry, but it's kind of like, to be making that amount of money, it would have been so easy, and then to be going this other path, it's gonna be a little bit harder to make that amount of money. But it's like, it's okay, because at the end of the day, it's like, money's not everything. So when you're kind of weighing out, like, your college decisions, kind of what you want to pursue, it kind of, a lot of it, at least for me, it kind of boils down to, is money more important to you, or is, like, kind of happiness? But at the same time, both of those, those are not, like, mutually exclusive. Like, they can be found in both. So yeah, and I feel like if I'm gonna be miserable, I shouldn't pursue something that's gonna make me feel miserable. So yeah, I mean, if any of you guys have any advice, because this is something that's kind of been bothering me, I guess please leave it down in the comment section. Yeah, and it's been really bothering me. Like, I don't want to, like, be a failure. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a really big fear. Like, another thing is that since I'm so young, a lot of people have been giving me their input, like, a lot of adults, right? So it's kind of like, I don't want to be naive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be, like, I don't want to kind of, like, hear all their advice and kind of still go my way and then see that their advice was right. So I feel like I'm kind of being in this place where I'm kind of being a little bit, like, manipulated. I don't know, but it's just taking into account my age and my inexperience. It's like, should I listen to these people who have lived life more than I have? So that's another fear. But at the end of the day, like, when I look at people's lives, I kind of see a pattern. Like, when I look at people who pursue monetary things first, without taking into consideration if they would even like what they're doing, I kind of see, like, a pattern where they look back at their lives and then they wish that, like, they could have just pursued, like, what they wanted to, and, like, it's not worth it. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. Because waking up every morning hating what you do is just, it doesn't, like, money cannot make that better. Like, you know? And at the same time, it could even make you feel stuck too, because when you have all these things to kind of, when you have all of these responsibilities in the future, you could feel stuck. And yeah, and I don't want to look back and see, like, somebody else pursuing what I wanted to pursue, you know what I'm saying? And then feel like, wow, why didn't I just do that? And I would have been fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's another regret that I just don't want to have. So yeah, I guess if you guys have anything to say, leave them down in the comments. I'll put my Instagram, I don't really know where this is, somewhere right here or in the description so that you guys can follow me. But yeah, I think I'm going to be making more videos kind of talking about what I'm going to be doing. Another one of my passions is art, as you guys can probably tell. So I think I'm going to be making videos like that as well. So, I mean, that's also the future. Another final thing that I kind of want to say is well, me, and I don't know who else is listening to this that needs to hear this, is we all just need to learn how to go with the flow. Like, nothing is gonna go as planned. So I feel like it's best to probably pursue what you want to do. Maybe take into consideration finances as well, but nothing is gonna go as planned at the end of the day. So just really go with the flow, because yeah, so it's just really important, because life is, you lose and you gain. You lose a lot, so you can't be really taking materialistic things first. It's kind of like you just have to go with the flow. Obviously have your pursuits, but you have to always take into account that life is not the straight and narrow. It's very, a lot of things can happen. So yeah, I mean, kind of talking about this is pretty therapeutic. So I'm glad that I made this video. And for any of you guys who feel the same way, or any of you guys that are having like any of the same concerns, I guess you guys can leave them down in the comments as well. So thank you everyone who stayed till the end of the video. I don't know how long this video is. It feels like about 15 minutes. But thank you everyone for staying here, and I appreciate any advice you guys have for me. And yeah, so see you in the next one. Bye.